Hello, everyone. I'm Tracy Damario, and I'm the SuperStar Director for the Bliss family. And I'm super excited to have you guys all eager to learn more about how to grow your business. And we are going to be discussing several different ways you can do that tonight on the Zoom. For those of you that might be fairly new, and or you go through this training tonight and maybe you're feeling overwhelmed or like thoughts of I can't do this or whatever kind of things might come in your head, I want to put a disclaimer out there first. Nothing I'm going to share tonight is an absolute necessity to do. Okay, so you can be 100% successful in Scentsy and do absolutely none of the things that I am going to be training on tonight. So I need to make sure everybody heard that loud and clear. These are some optional things that you can do to work your business. But I always train my newbies that first and foremost, learn your workstation. You can literally get anything and everything you ever wanted to work your business from your workstation. Secondly, if at all possible, if you're on social media, join our Facebook group because we have so many amazing resources and consultants that share tons of really good stuff that you can get a lot of information there. Plus, it's a great place to go to ask questions because you may not be able to get a hold of your sponsor or your upline director 24/7. I would hope not, actually, because we all need boundaries at some point and need to have some off time. So the Facebook group is like a go-to place to go. You can post a question about any time, and there seems to always be somebody around that can help answer that. So those, I think, are still your go-to places. But some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about tonight really can just enhance and can help you. Plus, it's things that we talk a lot about. And so if you're like, what is all of this stuff? Or I just have no idea, or you want to learn, and this is going to be the perfect opportunity. So I'm going to do this kind of in what I consider to be my priority when I'm working with team members and having some of the conversations about kind of what they could be doing next step. And one of the first things I like to talk about is Canva. So Canva is something that they do have a free service, and it's spelled Canva for those of you that don't know. They do have a free plan, or they have a pro plan. I had the free plan for about 2 years prior to COVID, and it did all of the things I needed it to do. I could create very simple images. I could do all kinds of things. That's all I really needed. But around the COVID days, these QR codes got really popular, and people were that was like all the things. So QR codes were happening. People were working their business a lot more on social. And through Canva, you can share what's called templates. So let's say you are really creative or you just enjoy creating things, marketing materials. You can share your template with anybody and everybody so that then others can go in and personalize it or make changes to it. And whenever you're using a template, if they have the pro version, and let's say a graphic that they picked or a template that they picked has a piece of the pro only option, then I was not able to do all the things with it. So it was during the Canva time that I realized, okay, it's now time for me to switch from the pro to the pro because I want to start incorporating QR codes in my business. And I don't have a creative bone in my body. So I want to click the little template link and just be able to change it to all the things and not have to figure out how and what to change and to do. So the pro Canva is $12.99 a month, or they have an annual plan that you can pay $119 annually for. Of course, this is a tax write-off. And while I am going to be sharing some ways you can use this with your business, you'll probably see, just because I'll be screen sharing my account, I do lots of personal things with it too. Come Teacher Appreciation Week, I'll do gift tags to all the teachers, and they'll have all the teachers to their names and from my son's name, that I can print off through Canva. I do I'm the team Rockhurst baseball mom. So I did some graphics for the baseball team. Very simple, basic, I promise you. But the point is that that you can use it for personal stuff too. This doesn't just have to be business. And if I could, give me, this person is blowing up my phone. They can't find the link. Okay, well, I posted it in the group. Just a second. Okay, hopefully they'll see that now. Okay, sorry. I want to be helpful, but I also want to respect your guys' time and carry on here. Now let me get my document back. So again, you might want to play around with the free for a while and then kind of go from there. But I am going to be screen sharing and showing you from kind of start to finish what it can look like and how you can work this. I am not a Canva master. Now, this is good news to all of you. I am here to tell you that if Tracy Damario has figured this out and is able to do most of the things, anyone participating or listening to this recording can do it too. Okay, so that's the good news. I saw some of the names of you guys that are on this con. I'm like, okay, well, they really should be doing this training, but they're just being nice and showing up, which I appreciate the support, because as what I like to do when I'm going through the trainings, and because we are recording it for the sake of time, I like to get through the training portion before I open it up for Q&As. However, we have a chat feature on Zoom. And now that I see we've got some real smarties on here, you guys feel free to utilize the chat. And I'm sure some of them will be able to pipe in, or if it's something that they feel like is something that would be, I might have missed something too, or that needs to be interjected, they will unmute and can kind of call me out and or ask, so that it's something that all of you guys can have the opportunity to see in case you don't have access to the chat. And I do want to give another shout out for all of you guys that have your camera on, because one of the things that's hard for me at times is talking to this square object in front of me called my iPad. I love seeing people. So thank you guys for having your camera on. It's actually just comforting whenever people, at least for myself, whenever I'm doing these Zooms. So with that being said, I am now going to screen share. So I will not see you for a small amount of time here. I'm going to screen share now so that we can get started with the training part here. Okay, so you can use the Canva app, or you can use Canva on desktop. I don't really have a preference. I'll be honest, I like to use my desktop as probably my first choice, but I don't have a computer at home. So I do a lot of Canva stuff on my iPad. Now, some of you guys are real whizzes and do all the things on your phone. And that's like a whole nother level as far as I'm concerned, because that is my least favorite way to use Canva, is on my phone. I don't know, maybe I just need bigger, I don't know, but I like doing things here. So what I'm going to do real quick is I am going to show you. If you don't see my screen, somebody can let me know. Oops, let's go back. You guys don't need the baseball schedule. All righty. So if you'll see commonly that we will share links. I'll share like an image and say, you know, this is a Shannon share, and it'll have a link for Canva. So I wanted to show you kind of from the time you get that link, what this looks like. So here is the link for, this is a link that was actually shared. Becky created these templates, Becky Corga, one of our very own. She shared this in the group because hopefully all of you guys are aware we are promoting and working really hard for the month of April. We're calling it Active in April campaign. And the goal is to get every consultant active, which is 200 PRV or more during the month of April. So now I've clicked on the link. So the next thing I have to do is I have to go here to edit the template. Now this particular link that she shared had more than one image in it. Okay, so you can utilize all of the images, or you can simply use one. And we're going to work with this first one here just to kind of show you. Up at the top, you'll see it has a name. It's called Active in April Templates. Hopefully you'll see that on the very top. You can see. If you wanted to change the name, you could go up here and put Active in April 2024 template, or whatever you want to call it. But you can, and I recommend naming your templates, because otherwise later it will be a little more complicated if you're using the generic template name that came with the version or the copy that's in Canva itself. So you might want to make a habit of naming your templates. It'll make it easier for you. So in this case, for example, I'm reporting for duty, and you can put your name here. So I'm going to put my name. So all I did, you saw, I just clicked on it and magically this box opened up and I could go in and edit it. I'm going to put my ID number here. If you guys haven't done this, you now will know how to do yours today. And now I've got my name and my ID number. You probably imagine this little box here is set up to add an image. So I'm going to click on that box. So you'll see how it's highlighted. And over to your left, there's a menu. There's one that says photos and there's one that says uploads. I'm going to click on uploads. Now, when I'm in my uploads, I'm going to select a photo that then I'm going to then use. And it can be any photo you want to use, obviously. I'm just going to pick this one just for the sake of picking it. And it dropped it in here, and then I moved it to the box, and it magically placed it in the box. So as you can see now, I now have this ready that I can share it. And how I'm going to do that is at the top right, you're going to see it's kind of, I don't know, I think Android might be the same. I'm not sure. I'm Apple or iPhone, so I'm not sure. But on the top right is the little share, which is like the half square with the arrow facing up, or there's an arrow facing down with a line. I'm going to click on this case, the arrow facing down with a line, and it's going to tell me that it is saving, it's downloading that item. It asks me if I want to save all 6 images, which I could, or like you can actually select just one, but I'm just going to say yes for the sake of selecting all of them. So now it's in my camera roll. So let me just show you real quick what I would do next. Now I would go to Facebook and I'm going to go to our group, the Scented Bliss group. And I'm now going to click on photo and magically, there it is in my camera roll. And now I'm ready to go. So I could type something here and I could just hit post. And I've now reported for duty and I am all in for active in April. So now all of you guys that haven't done that yet, that is task number 1 for you guys. Okay. Now I'm not actually going to post that. So I'm going to stop here. Okay. Let me go back. Jackie, Cassie, some of you that are on, can you tell me, is there anything in the chat that needs to be dealt with or can we proceed? Okay, I guess I'm not hearing anything. So we're going to proceed. So that was option number 1. Now we're going to move on to another document. So I'm going to go over here and some of you guys I know are really good about doing your mailings. My daughter, Sierra, she does postcards for her mailings. Now, she didn't create this template. I found the template that someone else created and I showed it to her. So we created this for her mailing. And now I'm going to change it over to me just so you can watch me do that. First of all, we've got this image here of her. So I'm going to change that to me. So I'm going to go back over here to uploads and I'm just going to pick a picture here. First of all, now this one is not in a template, like this image was added just separately. So I'm going to just delete this one, drop me over here. I got to make it small enough to fit, obviously. And I don't have my Apple Pencil with me. I left it in my bag in the car. So I'm just kind of, you guys get the idea. But anyways, so you would drop your little picture there. Should be bigger, but that'll work. Then we've got over here this QR code up here. Like I said, QR codes are really popular. I know they were probably popular before COVID, but it just seems like at least that's when kind of the light bulb hit me that I needed to get busy with QR codes. So here you'd want to put your QR code. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to remove this one. And now I want to create one. So with the Pro version, what you would do is you would go over here to the left where you've got the menu and click on apps. Once you've done that, under search Canva apps, I type in QR. And I always use the top one that says QR code generator. I'm sure they all work great. I don't know, just what I do. Actually, I do this QR code one, I think right here. It's just habit, but yeah, that one there. So now what I need to do is I need to drop the link that I want to appear when someone scans the QR code. So I'm going to go over because it says scan to shop. So I'm going to go over to my website, not my workstation, but my website. So here we are on my Scentsy website, and I want to share this page so that when someone scans it, it takes them to the first page on my website. So to do that, I am going to have to copy this link, and I'm going to copy it again from iPad and iPhone. You would just do the little square at the top with the arrow facing up. If you were on a desktop, you would simply just copy and paste the link out of the address bar. So I'm going to go to the square with the arrow on top, and it's going to give me the option to copy it. So I'm going to do that. Now I'm going to go back into Canva, and where it says enter URL, I'm going to now paste that. And I'm going to tell it to yes, please generate my code. And voila, I now have a QR code. Now it's too big, obviously. So I'm going to make it smaller. So it's going to fit up there. And if you were to take your camera right now, and you're welcome to do so if you want, you can scan or get your camera open and take a picture, not actually take a picture, but use the camera portion of your device, and it will open up to my website. Now, there might be times when whatever you're working on or whatever template has shared might have something specifically, like maybe you're making a join brochure or a join postcard, and your whole focus is on sponsoring. In that case, you probably want to have the QR code go directly to the join page of your website. So let me show you how you would do that. First of all, I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to go back to my website, and now I'm going to click on join. Now this is going to be the join page that I want when people do my QR code. This is what I want to show up. So again, because I'm on an iPad, or if you were on an iPhone, you would use the square with the arrow facing up, click on it, click the word copy. I'm going to go back to my Canva. I'm going to clear this out. And I'm now going to paste that one and see the difference. Now this one has a /join, and I'm going to create my code. Now I've got a join QR code. Just pretend this was a sponsoring join type of situation. Now I've got the right QR code on there that's going to go directly to join. If you go down to the second page here, I'm going to make this, let's see, how do I make this bigger here? Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm going to make this bigger. So naturally, I'm going to just click in here, and I'm going to go back and change it to my name. I know for some of you, this is way too remedial, but I'm hoping it helps those that may have been intimidated by even trying this before. And now I have this corrected, but guess what? This is not my phone number. So I need to go down here and click on this box so I can change it to my phone number. Okay, and I'm going to go down here to the website and change that to my website. And now it is done. So this is why you'll see me post so many templates, because again, I couldn't have created all of this from scratch, but I can handle just going in and changing it to where I can now have access to this. A couple of options if you were wanting to print it. I mean, obviously you could save the images and you could text them out or send them an email or whatever you'd want, use them on social. But if you're wanting to print these, you'd have a couple of options. You can print through Canva. So if you'll see here, it says print with Canva, and then it's going to ask you what it is you're printing. I've used it. It's great quality products. I think the prices are reasonable. And depending on how fast you choose to ship it, you can get it in 5 to 7 business days. So I really do like that option. Another option, depending on where you live, if you do not have the Scentsy logo on the items that you're wanting to print, sometimes when you're using Canva and you go down to print with Canva and you pick your items, like let's just, I'm just for the sake, I don't know if it's going to let me do it, but postcards, it should. Let me see. Postcards. Okay. I want the front and the back. The size small is fine. All of these things are fine. 50 postcards, and they do have sales sometimes too. I don't need envelopes, so I'll take that off. I'm going to continue. It'll ask me to auto fix things, so I could click yes, and then it'll just kind of fix all the things that need to be done. I'm going to add it to the cart. Okay, then I'm going to go to checkout. Okay, so here's what I wanted to show you. So not everyone will have this because it does depend on where you live. But for example, you see the in-store pickup option? I live in Lee Summit, but approximately 20 miles from me is, and there actually is a FedEx in Lee Summit where I live, but it doesn't have the print store part of my FedEx. 20 miles from me is another FedEx location, and they do all of the print there. So I can click this fast plus free option, meaning like there's no shipping charge, and I can put in the zip code for that location right here. And then I can place my order, and usually within a day, I can go pick up the items. There will be some things you will do that they won't have on hand, but postcards I've done, rat cards, I've done regular flyers, business cards, lots of things. We cannot do anything with the Scentsy logo on it that way. Through it has to be printed by ourselves or an authorized Scentsy vendor. Okay. So do I have any questions around what we just did? Okay, you guys are all smart pupils here. Oh, well, I didn't want to do that, but I'll go back here. Let me go back to show you something else too. I'm going to go up here into uploads again, just to show you something. See these images and then see the little dots, the 3 little dots here? This will help you later. If you click on those 3 dots and then click on the little pencil, you can name these. So like I'm going to say this Sierra with box, for example, so that later I can find it easy. You can also move them to folders. And the reason this is helpful for example, if I were to go up here under search and type in PWS, these are QR codes that I've already made for my PWS. So I wanted to show you guys how to do it. So I went through the motions for you. But next time I'm creating something and I want to use just my main PWS home screen, I can just search it and just drop this in here. I don't have to recreate the QR code. Same with if I wanted to use an image, a picture with just me, I just have some here with just, that I've just named Tracy. So it just makes it easy to find. So I wanted to show you how to do that too. Okay, now this one is going to be a little bit more complicated, not hard, just different. It's more. So a lot of us do monthly newsletters. And this is a template that I had not done anything with. So I thought this would be a good one to show you guys. This is a template someone did and of what they do for their mailing. So we're going to edit the template. It is for, you'll see it up here. It says Stewart Spring Summer 2020-24 brochure. So for example, the first thing I'd want to probably do is I'd want to go in and change the name to where it has like my name. Or whatever, you could do whatever you want to do, but I think you get the ideas. There we go, just to show you. So Damario, I don't know. And then you would need to start changing it. So we would go in and we would want to change this image. So I'm going to go over here to uploads and just real quick, I'm just going to, again, I'm just trying to do this quick here. I'm going to get rid of this. Oops. Oh, I should show you that. Hang on a second. Let me show you this. If you ever wanted to remove, this is another thing that's nice about the Pro version. So with this image, if I wanted to get rid of the background, you can go up here to edit photo. Click on edit photo. Oh, there we go. Well, for a second it came up. What's it doing? Here we go. And up here at the top left, it says BG remover, background remover. So I am going to click on that. It's going to take just a moment. And it now has eliminated the background. Now, this is, again, only a feature on the paid platform. Then you're going to put your little picture there. I need to change that name to Tracy, obviously, because I'm not Debbie. And let's see. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Okay, so I've done that. And I feel like you guys probably get the idea of what else to do here, but which is this about? Scentsy Club. So this is a Scentsy Club QR code here, which if I go over here, I should already have one saved. Let's see. Yep, there's my Scentsy Club one. So I don't have to do that again. So I just drop it in. I just clicked on it and then I can just drop it in. So that's all done. Okay. And I'm not going to do this whole thing because I do think you guys understand what we're doing here. But then I would just continue to go through the motions and change all the things and make it mine. But do you see how wonderful it is when all of these fantastic consultants share all these templates and how simple it is just to go in and change it to make it yours? It's so great that they do this. So great that they do this. Okay. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to show you just real quick too, because this will help you with your organization, especially once, is it doing that? Once you have a lot of designs, is you, like if I go on projects, I have folders that I have things. So for example, like customer inserts, these are things that I would probably have to reprint on a regular basis because I use them a lot. So I wanted them to all be like in a folder where I could easily find them, for example. Now let me go back and just show you how you can add something to it. So let's see, let's find, oops, where we go? Show more. Let's just put this here. I'm going to click on these three dots next to this copy of active in April. And I'm going to say move to a folder. And I'm going to create a new folder called active in April. Add to new folder. And now next April, if I wanted to find, oh, where's all my templates from active in April? Then I could go easily look at my folder under my projects and I would be able to locate them because it's already going to be in a folder. Okay, so I'm now going to come back to you guys real quick. Okay. Oh, why is my picture not on there? Okay, there I am. All right. Okay, so that was a pretty basic Canva. Now, one other piece that I want to at least spend a couple minutes explaining. So whenever you've created something and you're wanting to print it for yourself. For example, let's pretend we were going to print those postcards that we did. I would save both of those images to my device. And then I would go to avery.com. In fact, I might as well do that real quick. Oops, go back just to show you. Okay, avery.com. Let's see. It is free. Doesn't cost anybody to have an account with Avery. And there could be other options, but it's very Tracy friendly, so it's what I use. So we're going to go to avery.com. Again, it is free. I'm going to click on templates. Find a template. And I know, because I've done this a lot, that the postcards are going to be found under cards. You'll see over here, postcards. I'm going to click on postcards. Then I'm going to click start designing. Now, you guys are welcome to use, and I have to click, this is how I want to do it. You guys are welcome to use some of these free things. If you wanted to make like thank yous with your customers, these would be really easy for you to modify as well and to print off and do. But for the purpose of me doing that postcard, I need to use this free one, this blank one for now, because I've already got a design. So I'm going to go into, I don't know if I saved them, but hopefully I did. I'm going to go into image, add an image, browse for the file, which is in my photo library, maybe somewhere. Let's see. Hold on. It should be somewhere. If not, we'll just fake it and all that. But oh, shoot, I just saw it. Come on. It is right here. Okay. So we want to use this image. I then am going to just pull it out to where it's in the print area. You get the idea on that. So we're just going to leave it at that, but I would make it bigger normally. Over to the right, you'll see this is the front. I have to click on the word back. And now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to image, add image. And I'm going to go grab the back of that postcard. Now's when I wish I had my pencil. Okay, well, you know what, I'm supposed to be dragging that out, but I don't have my pencil with me. So you get the idea. Pretend that that is the whole back and it's all nice and pretty. At that point, I'm going to click on preview and print, get PDF to print. I can save the project if I want. Just call it April postcard sample. Okay, I'm going to download the PDF. And now I can simply print this off. When I go to print it, I'm just going to send it to my printer. I'm going to tell it I want to print. Obviously, I'm going to want to print double. I don't have those printers here because they're at my office. But when I click on the printer, I'll have the option to say if I want it to be in color and if I want it to be double-sided, which I do because I want it to print the front and the back. I can print these off on cardstock and cut them into postcards, or you can order blank postcards from Amazon so that when after you print them, they're perforated and they're really easy just to, break apart and put in the mail. So very simple. That I use Avery to print, to put all of my stuff in if I'm printing it myself. Okay, now I'm coming back to you again. All right, picture. All right, any questions around anything we've done so far? Again, this is recorded, so if that's helpful.
I'm just going to start out and just say that Tracy has done a fabulous job of not only showing how to use those things, but let me just tell you, for those of you who maybe haven't used Canva a lot, or this is your first time, some of those tips, like naming the pictures and things like I wish I had done that from the beginning. So listen to Tracy, do it from the beginning because those tips are so helpful.
Yeah, Canva, Jackie was one of the early masters of Canva. And she still, of course, utilizes it. And she's got a lot of trainings too. So that's what I was going to tell you. There is endless things you can do with Canva. I wanted to just kind of show you 3 different things, just to kind of, hopefully walk you through the motions so that it's not scary. But no, there are so many trainings out there. You can go on YouTube for trainings. Canva themselves have trainings. And of course, we post things in the Bliss group a lot too. So, and obviously ask questions. If you're struggling with something, can't figure something out, you have a barrier, post questions. But I hope that that was at least helpful enough that some of you guys that have not been using it will possibly jump in. Now, the next piece that I want to touch on, and we've talked about it a few times in the past, but I wanted to kind of do a little bit more thorough, similar to what I just did with Canva. And that is a platform called Project Broadcast. In case you joined me later, you weren't here in the beginning, I'm going to make my little quick commercial disclaimer again. You don't have to have Canva. You do not have to have Project Broadcast to be successful in this business. You may or may not be at a place in your business where you need Canva or want Canva, or you need Project Broadcast, or you want Project Broadcast. That is okay. They are not necessities. But it is kind of nice whenever you hear us talking or you see things in the page and you're like, what are they? It's like they're talking a foreign language. So stay with me, even if you're like, I don't think I need this Project Broadcast thing, just so you have some familiarity of what it is that we're referencing. And you never know, all of us, our businesses have changed. There's been times when I, for example, used a binder system for follow-up, and that worked fantastic for me until it didn't. And I needed a new system. I needed to add something else or do something different. And so showing up at things like this, even when you're not sure you really need it yet, it's good to have an idea that there are options, because 6 months from now, you might be in a completely different place and you're like, you know what? I think I want to check out that Project Broadcast thing. So Project Broadcast is a texting platform. And the reason that a lot of us like it is because we have worked really hard. I'm going on 16 years with Scentsy to build our customer base and to build our organizations. So we do send text. The reality is, I find personally, not everybody's the same, but for me personally, I seem to have the best connections and conversations via text messaging. So for me, it made sense to find a way to be able to communicate with my people through text messaging. Doesn't mean I don't ever email or that I don't ever use social and I don't ever mail, because I do all of the above. But my primary go-to form of communication is through text. And I love the concept of being able to have all my Harry Potter fans tagged in one group so that I can text them every time there's a new Harry Potter launch, but it goes individually to them, not in like a group text to where you got 50 people saying, oh, I want one, I don't want one, get me out of this group message. Nothing like that. It's all very individual. So that's what was so appealing to me and why I decided to go for it. So Project Broadcast, they do have a monthly pay-as-you-go plan that starts at $6, or yearly, it starts at $60. And then they have various plans that I don't even know what the highest is, but I'm sure it's crazy high, because you got to understand there's companies like, T-Mobile. I mean, big, massive companies are using maybe not Project Broadcast, but similar type of programs. So there's unlimited amounts that you can pay depending on what you want, but it does start at $6. Now, the free plan will allow you to just pay as you go. Like, you get something flat for, I don't know what it is, for the $6. But let's say one month you decide to do a big campaign, and so you need more credits, you can purchase more credits. It's just that once you kind of figure out what you are going to be sending out and how many messages you're sending out, and you can get a plan, it's a better value. So that's just kind of why many of us go ahead and get a fixed plan with so many credits, because we've been using it a while and we kind of have a pretty good idea how many that we use. When you have one of the paid for plans and you're chatting back and forth with people, it doesn't use a credit. But when I send a message to 600 people, every single message takes a credit. So for example, I think my plan is, I think I get like 5,000 credits a month for my plan. But that's not a problem for me when I'm sending out 300 or 600, because I know I have 5,000 credits that I need to use up and that I can utilize. So it's fine. And if I chat though, I could have 500 chats. That doesn't count a credit. So chat is free. I want to make sure everybody understands that. That doesn't cost you credits. The other thing is, if you have people in your contacts that also have a Project Broadcast phone number, and you have that saved, and you're actually sending messages to others that have a Project Broadcast number, that does not take credits. So that is something good to know too. That can save you. Now I'm going to kind of start from the beginning here. Let's go back. Screen record again. Oops, here we go. All right, here we go. All right. So I just kind of want to walk you through this, kind of share what this looks like. And I will ask, this is being recorded and you might see some little bits and pieces of personal information. So please do not take pictures or utilize this inappropriately. If you were to see things, I will have to hunt you down if you try to take all my clients or anything like that. So don't be doing that. Okay, let's go to Project Broadcast. You can use the app or you can use the desktop version. They both work just fine. Just go. I'm going to start with contacts. Okay, so with contacts, you can simply do it just like you would on your phone or any type of online thing, where you would could type the name and type in their phone number. Oops, phone number. And save it. Voila, now I have a new contact. So super easy to add contacts. You can do it manually like this. As you can see here, you can add birthdays, anniversaries, in our case, centiversaries, tags we're going to talk about in a minute. You can add notes and various things as well. So that's how simple it can be. Now, I like to do imports. So I don't want to manually type in every single person every time I meet someone. So I do what's called importing. And when you go up here to these three dots, it gives you the option to import your contacts. So, for example, from the workstation, every month on the first of the month, I will go into my workstation and I will go to my reporting tab. If you're a newer consultant, I know this doesn't have a lot of value to you, but if you're a lead consultant or above, it might, because you probably means you have a team. So I will go and I will export my leadership report, which has my team members' names, phone numbers. I tell it what I want. I build the report, their title, and I can import that information into Project Broadcast. So in a matter of probably, I don't know, 1 to 2 minutes, I can import hundreds of contacts in just by simply clicking on this, adding the file, voila, done, magic. Now they're all in my Project Broadcast. Now here's another piece that I do. So when I go to events, while I'm at my events, I have my customers fill out a form similar to an order form. It's just more customized. And when they fill out this form, I then go home and I enter them into a spreadsheet. So into the spreadsheet, it's going to add their name, their address, their email, their phone number, anything like if they love Harry Potter, if they love Sweet Pea Vanilla. I also then document which event I met them at. And once I've done that, I export that spreadsheet and I import that here into my contacts. So now all the 72 people that I just got information from my last event, all their contacts are in here. I don't have to manually add them. So I love that for that reason. Now, let me show you why this is really nice too. I mentioned to you like the tags. So many of you guys probably, you've drove through Sonic or you pass by the road and you'll see something that'll say something like, text the word deals to 77777 or whatever, something like that. So you text the word deals to that phone number. When you do that, you typically get a message that says, oh, thanks for opting in. You're now going to get our updates, coupons, or thanks for opting in, $1 off your next order of tater tots, whatever. You know, you're opting in to receive those messages. Well, we can do that too with Project Broadcast. So what I do after an event, after a home party, anytime a customer orders from me, I'm going to send them an invite to opt in to my Wax VIP tag. And once I do that, and if they opt back in and they type in the word Wax VIP, it's like a group, it's like a file folder. I've now got all these people that have said, yes, anytime there's any deals, specials, promotions, please message me. Now I can schedule a message, and I'll walk through this in just a second. I can schedule a message specifically to those people that have said, I'm very interested in Scentsy. I love all things Scentsy. I want to know all the things. So I can use the tag Wax VIP and send a message specifically to those 72 people or 242 or however many I have that over time have opted in, and they will get my messages. Now, every time I schedule that message, if it's not a Project Broadcast phone number I'm sending it to, it does cost me a credit. Okay, so that's how this works. I have tags, for example, for Harry Potter, for Star Wars. I mean, I can pull some of them up just to kind of show you. Let's do Stitch. That one's, so Stitch, these are people that have said anything there's ever Stitch, I want to know. So I've tagged them. So when we get a new, like when we had that whiff box that had the Stitch little Easter buddy clip, I specifically scheduled a message to all these Stitch people. So let me just show you how I would do that. I would go over here to the menu and I'm going to click on schedule. I'm going to click on the plus sign up here. And now I'm going to type a message. I'm just going to make this up. Hi, friend. We have a new Stitch buddy clip. I don't know. Just, just like I said, just making it up right now. Okay, so pretend that's my message. I want to send it to my Stitch people. So now I'm going to click this little thing that looks like a price tag over here. And I'm going to type in the word Stitch. I'm going to click this little button next to it. And I'm going to click the check mark. Down here, it asks me, do I want to add all 23 people? And the answer is yes, I do. So yes, I'm going to confirm that I want to send that. I then scroll down and I have to pick the date and the time that I want to send it. So I'm not really going to send this. So, but I could go in and make the date and the time, whatever, whenever I want to do it. And once I've done that, I click this little check mark and it's going to say, okay, you have a scheduled message to go out, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to just confirm I do not want that to go. Okay, so that's just one example of how you can use those tags to do specific follow-up and marketing. Another one that I do commonly, let's go back to schedule here. I want to show you this little piece too. It's kind of nice. I'm going to click the plus sign. You'll see this little notebook paper. See, there's two pieces. It kind of looks like notebooks. That's called templates on Project Broadcast. I'm going to click that. These are messages that I commonly send out that are very redundant. I do the same ones all the time, maybe a word or two apart, but they're pretty much the same. So I'm going to type in one now for follow-up. Okay, so this one here, I need to update the picture on this, but I'm just going to click it for now to show you. I'm clicking that little button and I'm clicking the check mark. And this is the message it dropped in there. Thank you for stopping by my Scentsy booth today. I love my customers and want to make sure you're always in the know. You've been chosen to be a part of my exclusive VIP group of customers. Simply reply back with the word Wax VIP and you'll receive information, blah, 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 blah. And I can now I would add it. Again, I'm just going to pretend I'm going to hit the tag here. I'm going to type in the words Comic-Con because that was my last event. Okay. And I'm going to say, yes, I want to send it to all of them. And then I would go down and do the time, fix the date and the time. And now I'm going to send in all of these people an invitation, thanking them for coming by my booth, but also inviting them if they want to opt in to receive my Wax VIP messages. And when they type in the word Wax VIP, I'll show you what I get back. I'm going to hit no, because I don't want to send that. I'm going to go to my chat here. Trying to think of somebody that recently, I don't know if this is going to be a new person, but that's okay. I can still find it. I can scroll up. Yeah, okay. So this person, for example, opted in. At some point, they typed the word Wax VIP. I guess I can't go back that far. They typed in Wax VIP. So when I send my messages, you'll see here that when I do a message just like I did, this is going to go out to her. And it includes you can include images, you can do whatever you want. And I usually send out messages once a week. Whenever we get the Thursday, new update on our workstation, I typically like to send out messages to my customers on Friday because I'm placing an order on Monday typically. So that's just kind of how I do that. So these are all just ones that I've sent her. And you'll see a lot of times, you'll see no response, no response, no response. Now she's also one that has my personal number. So she does text me sometimes on my personal number, but in fact, it looks like she does all the time. But she's getting the information and she will message me. She just messages back on my other number. I don't know why. She just does. She's been a customer a long time. And that's one of the things I do want to tell you is that when you go to sign up with Project Broadcast, it is not your normal cell phone number. You do have to select a different number. And some people like that about it. Some people don't like that about it. I have been a consultant for so long and I've got customers still that go way back with me. I don't care where they message me. I could care less what number they use. So I'm totally fine with wherever they message me. I do know some that love the idea of having this Project Broadcast number be like their work number. So that's what they share with their team. That's what they put on their marketing material because that's what they want their customers using. With Project Broadcast, you can set hours to where only during those times you get notifications. You can also forward your number. So for example, if someone were to try to call my Project Broadcast phone number and I did not have call forwarding on, it would just be dead. Like they're never going to get me. But I have my personal cell phone number listed so that if someone calls this number, my Project Broadcast number, it's call forwarded to my cell phone. So I can still receive phone calls. So that's another thing that for me, like I said, it works just fine. Let me go back here. Okay, we talked about templates. I shared some of them. I'll show you a little bit quicker. Just like Canva, how I talked about, you could share Canva templates when people have created things. You can also share project broadcast templates. So if you were new to project broadcast and you were like, well, I don't want to have to come up with all these things, I can give you a code that then magically would put all 110 of my templates into your project broadcast. Now, some of them are generic and they'll work fine. Like this one doesn't have my name, doesn't have my number. It's just, I commonly get people say, how do I do a pre-order? I saw you post on Facebook, you're doing pre-orders. What is that? How do you do this? So that I don't have to type all that out. I can just click on template, and this one's named, if I just search pre-order, it's going to pull up and I can send this message out. Some of them are going to be more like this one here has got my name on it. So if you had my templates in your project broadcast before you just automatically send them, you might want to check them, because this image here, let's see, view image, is personalized to me. And you saw already that I have it signed from me. So, you know, some of you would have to go in and you just edit it. You just click on this little box here and now you can go in and do whatever you want with it. If you are using Project Broadcast, I didn't know this initially. Again, this was kind of during COVID that several of us switched and started playing with this. But another thing that you want to make sure that you're always checking, it's called Message Insights. Some of us had no idea that this existed or was a thing. So I'm going to show you guys. So I'm going to just click on one here. Click on a template here to show you. I have to add a contact. My project broadcast, so I'll send it to me. Okay, and I'm going to schedule it for later. Okay, now there's 3 little dots under this message here. 3 little blue dots. If you click on that and you click on message strength, it tells me it's a strong message. In other words, it's going to go through. But if it's salesy, if it sounds like just really salesy, use lots of capital letters, lots of explanation points, then this is not a project broadcast thing. This is like your cell carrier. They are going to flag it and your message won't go through. So if you check your message insights and it doesn't say good message or strong message, then you need to go in and kind of play with it and change it up. And I'll tell you a couple little secrets. Let me go back to the chat here on Pam. When you look here, see how I use the emojis for the 5, and the $sign? That helps. So numbers or prices are red flags to carriers. So if your message insights are not good or strong message, and you go in and use the little emojis and make some changes, that's going to help you. Another thing that will help you is whenever you use what's called dynamic fields. And I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I'm just going to kind of show you what that looks like too. A dynamic field is right here. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to type in first name. Now what happens is I'm going to type my message. And when I actually send this message and you get it, it's going to say like, hi, Jackie, I just wanted to thank you. It pulls the first name out of how I have the contact listed in Project Broadcast. And by adding those dynamic fields, that also makes your messages stronger, so they're more likely to go through. Okay, so that's just a little lesson. I don't want you to have to learn the same way that I learned. And 2 more things I'm going to quickly talk about, because I know we're going a little long tonight, and this will be really quick, but there's things called campaigns that you can share too. Campaigns are things, for example, many of us, when we have new team members, we do what's called onboarding. And so instead of having to remember, oh, this is that person's 3rd day, I need to send them a message about what to do on their 3rd day. Oh, this is that person's 15th day, I need to remember to send them a message on what to do on their 15th day. There's things called campaigns that already have, for example, we'll just use onboarding as an example. Over the first 70 days, let's pretend 20 messages that tell them on the 1st day, the 5th day, the 7th day, things they can and should be working on. It's all in what's called a campaign. So when I have a new team member join and I add their contact information, I can add a campaign for onboarding so that it automatically knows on those specific dates from the date I said, yes, add the onboarding campaign, it will shoot out those messages over the next 70 days automatically. Okay, so that's what, when you hear some of us maybe talking about campaigns, campaigns can be shared too. So if we've got a campaign on the holiday collection, we can share our campaign on the holiday collection. And we give you a little template code that you import into your project broadcast, and you don't have to recreate it because somebody's already done it. You might just have to change your name, Tracy the Scentsy lady versus Susan the Scentsy lady, or something like that. But most of it's already done. The last thing I wanted to show you guys is what's called landing pages. This is something that is probably, I think, the last year or so maybe that they added. Really, really like landing pages. I use them a lot. This one is one, Amy Denny just finished this one, and she's using it for a text party. So it's on the top. So I'm just going to share that one here with you. And this one is spring, summer 2024. This is something that she is doing. You can read here the descriptions. It's a text only party that she can do for both hosts and or relaunch or launch parties for her team members. And I'm going to show you what this looks like. So I'm going to open this up in Safari over here so you guys can see what this would look like if she were to text it to you. So if you were to open this up on your phone, or in this case, an iPad, you're going to see this. She would, before we would do it, we would change the person's name. Obviously here where it says insert host name, we're going to put Susie's having a text Scentsy party. It edits very similar to the Canva that I was showing you. It's that simple. We would add, the link is available through this date. And then we're going to keep going through here. You would then could click, like see here, click here for a flippable catalog. So guess what happens when I click here? Voila, we've now got the catalog. So the customer can go through and look at the entire catalog. Okay, you probably get the idea. Guess what happens when they click the wax bars? It takes them directly to the bar section of the party that this person's having so that they can shop the bars, and they can of course just check out like normal. Naturally, guess what? This is going to take them to the Cosform. I think you get the idea. So this is basically a party all set up, easy to read, and it makes it really easy for people to go click around and see all of the things. Talks about hosting, about Scentsy Club, and all of these things are going to link, like for example, this one here is going to go to, like I said, Scentsy Club, but just to kind of show you. So this takes you right to the Scentsy Club page of Amy's website. And you see, I think you guys probably get the idea. It is very similar to edit like Canva. So if you are editing Canva templates, you can also edit these project broadcast landing pages. And there's endless things that you can do with these landing pages. But this is just one way that this is kind of a newer way to party. A lot of people, you know, are just really liking this option. Of course, they can share this on social. They can share this anywhere they want, this particular link. So I wanted to share that with you as well. Do we have any questions about project broadcast? I'm trying to be informative, but I also don't want to spend too much time.
Yeah, I have a question because
Okay.
I know that like Cassie's team or like everybody under her, the other night we jumped on DPP's connection call
Mhm.
with Vanessa Rowe, and she went over project broadcast, but I'm still like kind of confused on it, and I've even like rewatched that YouTube video like 5 times since the other night. And my biggest question is like, how do you like announce it to your customers, or
Great question.
like how do you even get started with it? Like obviously you covered like, you know, you got to pay for the credits and such like that. But like how do you get it out to customers, and is it more beneficial than Facebook, or like
So that's an excellent question. I'm glad you asked it, and I'm glad we're recording that because I think that's a really, really good question. So first of all, I don't know that it's better than anything. it's another option. You know, I don't like to have all of my eggs in one basket, and but it doesn't mean that it can or should replace necessarily anything. For me, though, like I said, texting is my go-to form of communication. Prior to Project Broadcast, and this is what I always try to tell people, prior to Project Broadcast, on the Monday of every week, I would go and I would print out my leadership report, which normally my team was anywhere between 300 and 600 people. Now, this is my team. We haven't got to customers yet. I printed out the spreadsheet on a clipboard and it went with me everywhere. And my goal was before the end of the week that I had sent a text message to all the people on my team, whether that was, oh my gosh, I saw you put in an order. That's really great. Or I hope your Wednesday is fantastic. I just wanted to touch base. It took me hours. I mean, hours. I did it sitting at, you know, baseball practices. I did it in doctor's offices. That clipboard went everywhere with me. So time is money. So for Project Broadcast, for me, the minute I grasped this, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so great from a team perspective. Customers too, because what I do a lot of events because I absolutely love to do events. I also like doing parties too. Don't have as many of those as I would like. But for example, if I'm going to spend the money to do events or the time to go do a home party or to do a party and get contact information, I want to maximize my opportunities with those contacts. Okay. So capturing the information and then having something to do with that information. And that is another reason why I love Project Broadcast. Now, for me initially, when I very first started to introduce it to my customers, I went on my workstation and I downloaded my customers. Now, keep in mind, I've been a consultant for a long time. I probably had, and I'm not exaggerating, 8,000 contacts in my contact tab, but they were a mess. They were old. Some of them I had phone numbers. Some of them I only had emails. I mean, it was a jumbled train wreck because, again, I've been a consultant a long time. And all of these things that exist now didn't exist then. So it was a mess for me. I had to start somewhere. So I decided to then filter my contacts from the last 2 years. So anybody, and you can do that by date. It has data purchase when you run your contact report. And so I chose anybody who had purchased from me over the last 2 years that I had a cell phone for. Because again, remember, I didn't have a lot because back in the day, email was everything. I mean, that was the only thing was email. So once I had that spreadsheet, I'm going to just, let's say it had 100 names on it. So I had that spreadsheet of 100 names. I then imported it into my Project Broadcast. And I sent a message that said, hey, everyone, this is Tracy, the Scentsy lady. And, you know, I want to make sure that you guys are in the know about all of the things. Therefore, if you would like to receive coupons, special promotions, know about new releases, simply reply Wax VIP. Now, when I did that initially, I got a lot of people that said, who are you? Wrong number, stop. I mean, that's just part of the deal. Because these people, again, you know, they were, you know, whatever. They didn't really know me. I hadn't done a good job necessarily of developing those relationships with some of these people. So they had no clue who I was. That's okay. It didn't hurt my feelings because I also had people say, Wax VIP, Wax VIP. I'm like, yes, yay, you know, hello, party. And so you do have to understand you got to start somewhere, and don't be upset or angry if people don't opt in. It's okay. That's fine. That's, you don't want to spend your time and energy messaging people that don't want the information, right? So it's okay. It's not a bad thing. So that's how I initially started. And now that once I had my base, now I make it a priority wherever I go, whether it's a home party at the Sonic, where I'm handing out the doctor's office, I'll be having a conversation. Maybe I'm wearing the Scentsy shirt. I might be at Panera with a girlfriend and, you know, they see my catalog or something and they're like, oh, do you sell Scentsy? I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. If you love Scentsy, girl, you need to be one of my VIPs. Give me your name and number. I'll opt you in. And people like randomly, like I do this all the time when I go places that this happens and I'm able to do this. And in events, I have a little form that they fill out. I also have a QR code, a little, it's at my office, so I don't have it here, but it's just a little stand. It's real small. That sits right by my checkout area. And it asks them to scan it. And when they scan it, it opts them in to my VIP. So I'll say, hey, if you want to receive, you know, my coupons and deals and things, just scan this right here. And they just do it like right then, right then, right then. So again, I spend a lot of money. I want to make sure I'm getting all of my opportunities and capturing information. And that's how I got started and why. So for me, it's been great. I still post on socials. I still do a monthly mailing to my customers. I still do an email once, maybe twice a month. So I still do other things because they're not always going to, be in all the things. Some people may never want to get my texts, but they still buy from me because they get my monthly email. That works for them. So I don't want to give that up. I want to still do that. So does that hopefully help, Jasmine?
Yeah, it helps a lot more than where my brain was at. Because, I just overthink everything. Cassie tells me to quit being an overthinker. And she's over there nodding her head.
Well, and I let myself get intimidated. Like I had tried Project Broadcast first, and I had someone trying to show me, well, I can call her out, Diane Dreyer, she's my sponsor. It was actually a different program. It wasn't Project Broadcast, but it was similar to Project Broadcast. I don't remember the name. I don't know. Anyways, it was a similar one. All this stuff comes so natural to her. And I love her so much. But when she tries to train, because it's so easy for her, it all just her brain just absorbs it all. And I'm the extreme opposite. I just shut down because I'm like, I can't get it. She's just going so fast. I don't even know what she's saying. I'm not caught up with her yet. It's hard for me. So when we were collabing during COVID and some of them had started using it, and we're talking about it, I'm like, my brain can't do it. And so Hannah Hall, who's the SuperStar director and a good friend of mine, she's like, okay, Tracy, we're Zooming after this. And she's actually a kindergarten teacher. Well, she's not now, but she was. And that's what I needed. I needed a kindergarten teacher who would just Zoom with me. Didn't even take that long, but it's just how she did it. It's just, like I said, basically I was like one of her kindergartners, and she walked me through it, and I was like, that's all I needed. And then I was hooked. So that's the other thing too. And that's why I always encourage you guys, go to all the trainings you can go to, because we all train different. We all learn different. We all say things different. Some of you guys might relate great to me. Others are over there going, oh my gosh, this is so elementary. Are you like for real? Like everybody's different, and that's okay. And if you're like me, I might even need to hear things sometimes 2 or 3 times and sit through a training 2 or 3 times before it even starts like making sense to me. So when people are like, I can't do this, I'm like, oh girl, you can, or guy, you just have to keep at it and maybe try it a different way, a different day, maybe a different trainer. It's totally fine. You don't always have to do all the things with your sponsor or with your upline director. You might relate better to someone else. Diane is one of my dearest friends. I love her dearly. It's just that the way she trains on technology, I can't keep up with her. So I need to go to somebody else to help me with that stuff. And that's okay, So the last little thing, I'm going to keep this really brief because we have gone way long, and I appreciate you guys staying with me. And that is, I just wanted to do a little commercial. This will be more of a commercial for boards. So I have been on boards for a long, long time. And then they changed it to where, so boards was free when it first came out. And then they recently, it's been, I guess, a few months, they changed it to where they have a paid version. They still have the free version. You can have up to 3 boards for free. More than 3, you're going to pay. And I didn't write down the amounts of what it costs, but they have a monthly option or they have a paid for option. And why boards can be really helpful. I loved it, number one, because it was just kind of visually helpful for my brain to organize things. And I used it for personal and for business. And then I kind of was like, it's one more thing. I don't really need it. I'm going to table this until the most recent situation with third-party posting with Facebook. They've changed things again. And so utilizing Bizly, which I absolutely love, like it's been like my BFF for doing parties, is not going to be able to be used in groups after, I think, April 22nd, I think. I could be wrong, but somewhere around in there. So I've got to find another way, because for me personally, copying, pasting, I do a lot of parties, both just online parties as well as launch parties and relaunch parties for team members. It's not realistic for me to copy paste from a Facebook group or from a document. time is money. And for me, it's just not. And I have family, I have a husband, I have children. I have to be smart about my time. So I was like, oh, I think I'm going to have to go back to boards. And I know Cassie, she uses boards a lot, and she stayed with it the whole time. But I had kind of like decided I didn't need it. And now I'm like, oh, I think I got to go back to this. Not because it's bad. It's just another thing, but so I just wanted to show you real quick how and what boards looks like in case some of you feel that is something that you want to do and want to add. But again, just in case you joined us late, none of these things are necessary to be successful in your business. And I mean that with 110%, guys. Remember me and my clipboard? I mean, I spent 8 to 12 hours a week sending out text messages to my team members, copy, paste, my little thumbs, it can be done old school. It can totally be done that way. I did it for years that way. So here we go. I'm going to do screen share here real quick. Okay. And boards works on your keyboard, which is nice. It becomes, you go into your settings and you set it up to where you have another keyboard. I don't usually do it over here. Okay, so just to show you guys like personally how you can use it, like this is my son, and like I've got like his insurance card, birth certificate. I mean, you can just see like you can put, like you can do these personally too. That's why I originally really liked it. But I want you to see this mock spring party. And this is, I'm not even sure I don't know who the original creator was. You can share boards just like you can share Canva templates, just like you can share project broadcast things. You can share boards. And again, the Scentsy community is so generous and so helpful and has so much Scentsy spirit. This makes it really nice. So I just kind of want to show you real quick how you could do this if you were going to do a party. This is how you could use this. So I'm going to go to Facebook and I'm just going to open up. This is just a group of mine. Oh no, let's see, how do I find it on here? I don't know. How do I do that on this thing? Oh, how do I search on here? I don't usually use this for this. Okay, well, this is old. We're just going to use this. It's old. We're going to use this group as our example here. All right. And if people get, or did I archive this? I wonder why I can't search. I don't know. Let me find another one. Here we go. We'll use this. All right. So here's an old launch party. So I'm in this party, but pretend like I'm just starting this party. So I've got it named. It's a Facebook group. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to boards and I'm going to click on the Monday before the party. And this is post number 1. So what I can do, I don't know, I haven't done this on this thing. Oh, how do I get my keyboard to come up? Let's see, go into Facebook. I do this I do for my phone. There we go, show keyboard. Okay, so I got to go down here to the little bunny. I'm going to click right here on the Monday before. And I can click on this and look, it just magically put it now in my post. Now I want to add this image. So I can just copy this image. Image is copied. And I can just drop it right here. So I'm still copying and pasting kind of, but it's much quicker than having to switch screens, going back and forth because it's all attached to the keyboard. And now when I hit post, which I'm actually not going to because there still might be 14 people that might get this and wonder that I'm restarting this party or something. Now this is going to be in the party. You can schedule these out. So if you wanted to, you could schedule all of these posts out that are in this board. You could do all of them. This is all of the Monday posts. And then these are all of the Tuesday posts. But you literally just use your keyboard to post this stuff instead of having to copy it, paste, save all the images on your camera roll, go find the images on your camera roll. So that is how and why I think this is going to be easier for me doing parties at this moment until something changes. Now, those of you like Cassie that use boards, do you have something you want to add to that? Like I said, I know we're long, so I wanted to keep that really brief, but just kind of show how it can be used.
I use it for onboarding as well.
Same kind of deal, like you have an onboarding
Well,
board.
I have that scrolling page that I created a few months ago. And then all of my onboarding messages for the first 70 days are in Project Broadcast now. And so I have those over there because your girl recruits way too many to be having to remember to go do it.
Yep.
And so that's all over there. And then I just send them the link to the landing page so they can go through there and train at their own pace
Yep. That's
to
awesome.
do that.
Very good. Yeah. So you could have a board for onboarding, which I do, but so same kind of deal though, if you wanted to, or if you wanted to board on, well, just anything on how to host coach on, like I said, you can have your kids boards. I have personal boards like for me, anything and everything. And it utilizes the keyboard. So you're just locating it off of your keyboard once you go into your settings and you tell it you attach it to a keyboard. You can also use it on desktop, but I never have, so I don't know. I use boards strictly, honestly, just from my phone because it is really easy from the phone. It's about the only thing I love doing from my phone. So, okay, I know this was a lot. Hopefully your head is not like throbbing and all of you guys are with me. Are you guys going to try any of these things, do you think? Anybody have an interest in trying any of these things?
I do.
Good. What's the first one you're going to jump into?
Wait a minute. Where's Ella? I don't know.
Hey, it's me. Sorry, I was jumping on late.
So which are you going to try?
Send me the options and I'll look at them again because I need to do it.
How about you, Jasmine? Which one are you going to try?
I'm gonna try to figure out Project Broadcast.
Good, good. Oh, I should tell you, they have a training site. So Project Broadcast has a training site, and also, so let me look it up because it's in a different place. Just a second. Let me go to. I got to get the. Hold on. I'll get it here. Let's see. It's what is it? It's PB. Oh, let me find it for you. And you get free credits if you do the trainings. By the way.
Okay.
I forgot. I should have wrote that down. Project Broad
Here tomorrow.
Trainings.
I'm here tomorrow.
Oh, there we go. So write this down. It's training.projectbroadcast.com. So training.projectbroadcast.com. They have 2-minute, 3-minute trainings. Very simple, very easy. I did all of them when I started. And you do have to create a separate login for that, which is obviously not hard, but you can earn free credits on your account by doing the trainings.
Okay.
So I want to share that with all of you guys too. And then if you do not have Project Broadcast yet, you can get a referral code from someone who currently uses it. So if your sponsor, your upline director has an account, if nobody you know does, you can certainly message me. And that way you do get some free credits if you use a referral code. So if you don't know someone that has one, then you can message me and I can certainly hook you up with one but again, check with your sponsor and your upline director first because they might have one too. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for spending Friday night with me. I sure do appreciate it. Again, this is going to be recorded. I will at some point, hopefully tonight, fingers crossed, I'll be able to get it uploaded to the Scentsy Bliss YouTube channel and I will share that out in the group so you could either rewatch it or you can share it with some team members that possibly couldn't participate tonight. So thank you all and good night. Have a great weekend.